Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hi, Ashley. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm dealing with technical difficulties, which I think is like the world right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's just the state of the world. Technical difficulties.
It's so funny because, when I think about the start of all of this, it takes me back to the Global Citizen Together at Home concert series. And all I remember is you sitting at the piano. And the first thing you said is, "Hi, I'm Chris. Is this thing on?"
Right. Well, there we go. That basically sums up my whole year.
Yeah. So what has the year been like for you? Kind of wild.
Well, yes. I mean, it's been very much a mix of different and very opposing emotions all day, every day. On a personal level, it's been like we've been very lucky. We've been able to record a lot and been thinking about my place on Earth and everything. And then there's so much going on in the world that is alarming and saddening and frustrating and inspiring. And so it's just a very colorful time for me and for everybody else.
And when you say colorful, I mean, going in and writing, does it make the writing process easier when the world around you is so colorful?
There's definitely inspiration everywhere, but I always felt that it's just different types of inspiration. And I think the pandemic has put some things in quite stark relief. You can see some things very clearly that might have been a bit blurred before. How some systems operate, or how some authorities think, or whatever it might be.
Kind of eye-opening, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Well, listen, we are very excited about the new single, Higher Power, and it's a mood. Like everything that Coldplay does, it just gives you that mood. And it's funny because I came across a Reddit thread where it was like, tell us the best Coldplay songs for every single mood.
Right.
So isn't that so cool? Like happy, sad, there's like a Coldplay song for everything. Where would you categorize this one?
Oh, that's a great question, actually. I would put this in the category of absolute freedom and not worrying about what anyone else thinks. Not trying to hurt anybody, but just kind of the freedom to be yourself and to fulfill whatever the universe put you here to do without worrying about negativity, or to understand, or this is for me, to understand that you must be here for a reason, and that reason might be a bit bigger than you, or you might not know what it is or where it's coming from, which applies to life in general, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like it's perfect timing, because over the last year, how many of us have reevaluated who we are or what we're meant to do, and we've been pulled into different directions. So being able to have that freedom is nice, and it's nice to have a great soundtrack to go along with that. So I completely agree with you. When I heard it, there was something so feel good and freeing about the song.
Thanks.
And tell us, what was it like working with Max Martin on this? I mean, he's just he's a beast and he's a monster. And how much did he have a hand in this track?
That's a great question. I could talk about this all day. Us and Max, or Max and we, or I don't know how the right grammatical. We've been heading towards each other for a while. A bit like couples who end up getting married who are friends, or they had to go and do their own thing for a bit.
Right.
So it's very, very natural with Max, and it's he's really our producer, and that's an amazing feeling. It's working with him is just a dream come true.
And you talked about having that friendship form. So did you feel that way when you first started working with him? Did it butt into that? Was it instant?
Yeah, it was pretty instant. I met Max when we were both watching Rihanna in Sweden some years ago. And as soon as we met, I was like, oh, I love this guy. And I already, of course, thought he was a genius. So it's been, I don't know whether he'd mind me saying this, but it's almost like having another band member.
Ooh, he's the extra member, the old Coldplay member that no one knew about.
Yeah, well, we have quite a few of them, but he's one of them. Yeah.
It's so good. So how involved then will he be in future Coldplay tracks?
as hopefully quite a lot.
Oh, that makes me so excited.
Yeah.
And, I remember you saying back in 2019 about touring and how important it was for you guys to take a break from touring and really focus on how to make tours more sustainable. And I'm wondering if what has transpired over the last year with virtual concerts, if that maybe is the answer to what had stopped you from touring before.
Well, that's a great question. Of course, technology does allow access to all kinds of different places and people. I don't think you'll ever, certainly speaking for myself, it's hard to replace the human connection. So I think our goal is to keep chiseling away at how to be able to get people together in one space, but have it not be so much of a, what's it called? I'm blanking on the word, like such a climate problem.
Right.
Not to be so detrimental energy-wise and waste-wise. And what's so cool is that so many people are working hard in that field of like, okay, how can we have big events and make them clean and green?
And how close do you think we are to that?
I think, like anything, it's going to keep evolving forever. So probably where it ends up in 100 years, I can't even conceive of. But in terms of the model we've grown up with, it's all of the stuff we've been doing for the last year or so, researching and talking with people and working with people. Like, it's quite a lot of change is possible.
Yeah. I think we've proven that already with what we've had to work with over the last year. But shows are still happening for you. And I know that Glastonbury is coming up, and that's going to be a big virtual event that they're doing. And I love that they're kind of splitting this up into different time zones so that everyone can really take in this show. And of course, supporting Oxfam and Greenpeace and WaterAid, which are all, very important initiatives for you. So tell us what we can expect from that show.
Well, it's funny because what makes Glastonbury is two things. It's the place and the people. And the people are missing. So fortunately, we still get to go to the place. So we're going to play at Glastonbury, just imagining that the cows and the grass are an audience, which of course they are.
Right.
So we're just going to play for them, and then some humans can watch online.
Well, listen, thank you so much, Chris. It has been such an honor talking to you because I'm a huge Coldplay fan. It's so great to have you guys back. And with such a great track about, that higher power and that freedom. And we are so excited for what's ahead. I know you've got an American Idol performance coming up as well. So we're looking forward to that. And I just wanted to say thanks for hanging out and dealing with all of my technical difficulties today.
You've been great, and your questions have been great, and I hope we can see you in Canada before too long.
Yes. Please come to Canada when it's safe too.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.